Streamer University seemed like it was a success.
Yeah, it was. I never watched the actual streams again, but I was watching clips and I was going through reposts and things like that, and it was very cute. It reminded me of college a little bit. It was a little like hectic, like people's throwing flour and setting off fireworks and damaging property. I was like, y'all are doing a lot.
Well, let's give Kai a round of applause. That was big time.
Yeah, that was amazing, Kai.
It was a big operation, so I definitely want to give him on that. And then he went to the American Music Awards like right after.
Yeah.
Young nigga don't sleep. He on Adderall going crazy right now. His Adderall plug is lit right now.
And
the way he moving.
SZA shouted out Streamer University when she was on stage, which was cute.
Yeah, a lot of people were shouting it out.
Yeah.
He was having a lot of people come up to him wanting to work and stuff like that. So this would be real dope. But I wanted to get into some of the storylines that was going on. But before though, I wanted to talk about Kai had spoke about this actually while he was at Streamer U, how he denied a lot of big platforms that wanted to, host the Streamer University, like Netflix, Prime, all of that stuff were offering, and he declined all of them. And I think it was a smart move because
he wanted the streamers to get the streams.
Not just that, the liability too. Like the liability shifts. I know you don't want it to go over to them, but because what they would have to assume in their risk, a lot of that stuff may not have been able to happen. And so if you assume the risk, then you can have a lot of stuff be more, to the edge. And I think that's what he did with a lot of this. A lot of folks they was pushing things to the edge.
They was.
Like a girl got shot in the face with the
BB
guns and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't a BB gun, it was like a Nerf gun or whatever.
Yeah.
She got shot in the face. There was another girl who got called ugly.
There was a lot of bullying going on.
Yeah, it was a lot
between
of bullying.
the ladies, of course,
A lot of male energy, checking each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of claiming women.
Yeah, so let's get into that big story.
They was calling each other they balls. That's what the young kids are calling each other.
That's better than my shit. That's better than that.
That's my ball. I don't like that either.
It's better than my little shit.
I like little shit.
See, that's what's wrong.
That's my little shit.
That's crazy.
It's more fun to say than ball. That's my ball. Like I don't know.
Like my ball and chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess that's where that comes from.
So the one that basically took the whole world by storm was the love triangle between DDG, Duke Dennis, and India Love. Do you want to begin?
I feel so like messy talking about this shit.
It's just for what? We got to get into it.
Like, I know Duke and India are like our age, but it just seems like such young content. But let's get into it.
So
I saw the clip of India like rubbing up on Duke. There was a whole compilation of her like sniffing him.
Mm-hmm.
It was
so just to give y'all a hindsight of what it kind of was, like I said, it was a love triangle between these three where India was into Duke and DDG was the entire time trying to basically win her affection over and try to show that she was the better dude. Like he was like dirty macking on Dennis and
Dennis was doing his thing. He was flirting with other girls and being Dennis.
Yeah, but he was coming up to her and being like, look, he with girls over there. He look at Dennis over there. Like he was really hating. Like it was really impeccable acting, I would say.
Yeah,
because you don't think it was real, right?
That's his character. He does that over time.
You wouldn't think that was a real storyline, right?
No,
I didn't think it was real either when I was watching. It was like it was kind of obvious, but it was well done to the point where it was entertaining.
Yeah.
One of the things too, I just thought was so funny with this whole India Love. Like I remember India Love when she was India Westbrook, when she was like really early out
in Tumblr,
coming out when she was like the cute young girl at 18, 19 or whatever. I remember her when she was getting fingered by the game in the park. So to see the entire internet.
She took Tumblr by storm. Yeah. And then I watched her show too on BET with her family, the Westbrooks.
Mm-hmm. So like I said, just to see that her taking the internet again by storm like this with the help of Kai, it's just funny just to see like the young little thought that's who she was when I was coming up. Because she's a little bit younger than me. So she was like the young little thought getting passed around by the rappers. Now getting pedestalized by all the young niggas now. It's hilarious.
Pedestalized?
Is that the word? Did I say that?
I don't even know.
They're putting her on a pedestal. Then it's hilarious seeing that.
She's still banging. Like
I mean, she A1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the OnlyFans numbers is consistent. They've been releasing all that. All her OnlyFans clips, her titties been all over the timeline.
Have they?
Yes.
I haven't seen any of that.
Oh, you missing out. You ain't engaged with the content.
No.
That's why you didn't get the good stuff.
Not the good stuff.
Like she's a pretty girl. I'm not gonna act like she's not a pretty girl. It's just to me, she's just been so yesteryear. Like I feel like
she's a professor. She was supposed to. Well, she was a professor at Streamer University. There was a clip of her mom calling her and being like, "You were so good up there, and you had long sleeves on and long pants."
She probably hasn't seen that in forever.
And then everyone was in the comments was like, "Hi, your mom was happy that you just had clothes on, girl."
Yeah,
that's
wild. That's insane for your mom to get, because they don't understand the streaming stuff, so they just think you being for real on
I mean,
camera.
her mom was on the show and stuff too. I'm sure she understands.
I mean, but it's still different for the older group to kind of understand. Like even when reality TV came out, they still wasn't understanding if this was scripted or for real or not. Like even with this, it's not scripted, but it's like improv. Mm-hmm. And that's how they kind of operate with it. And also, I got to tell Kaia, now you did a good job, man. Like you really looked out for your boy DDG. Y'all had a really good plan to execute this, because he's been allegations. He was paying India Love and all the girls at Streaming University.
Yeah, and Cooking with Kaia, they both came out with statements talking about, oh, he's so great. And I actually want women to stop doing that, because just because you have like a good experience and a good relationship with somebody who's being accused of like atrocities or abuse by another woman doesn't mean that like he's not capable of doing that. There are people who are their children and their neighbors are full on serial killers, and they're like, I would have never known. I would have never known. So that doesn't make any sense. Please stop doing that. Like you spent one weekend with the nigga, 4 days, and now you're like, I can't imagine him being a monster. Of course you can't. You don't know him.
No, I mean, it was a great PR move. Like, Kai could have easily canceled DDG with everything that he was going and say, nah, we can't do this. Your name is hot.
There was at one point, he was standing in front of the campus at like because they had the general public of the campus separated from Streamer University. And he was standing there with DDG and everyone was in the crowd. And Kai was like, clap if you want me to expel DDG. And they all were like, whoa, like clapping and shit. And I thought he was going to kick him out.
No, what I mean though is like it was a good move what they did, because the best way to kind of take your heat off you and not make you look like this aggressive individual who put your hands on women and all that is to make you look like the goof, deprecating humor the entire time, make him look like he chasing after this girl and looking soft and weak, and that in the long run will pan out to you not being looking as aggressive.
Yeah,
and then like you said, having all the women shout you out is definitely going to help you out with that.
All that, listen, as soon as that Ring camera footage of him crashing out comes out then all of that goes straight down the toilet.
Yeah. Because, I mean, at this time, what it's probably going to end up being her sparing him more than anything else. That's probably what it's going to come down to. Because once that gets unleashed, there's going to be nothing else he can say, because it's going to validate all her other claims.
She just seems like, I just want my child, and you can see your child once in a while, but I just want my child.
Yeah, it's probably, she probably wants supervised visits and all that. Like that's just gonna be part of the game.
That's what she filed for.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that's probably just gonna be part of the game. They're going to accept with that. But,
yeah, and don't put my child on your stream.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's what you want. But you brought up somebody else, Cooking with Kaia. So Cooking with Kaia.
So she in a little trouble.
Yeah, she got in a lot of trouble acting up.
Apparently, she had a boyfriend the whole time we've been looking at her shake her ass in the kitchen.
This not no normal
and they've
boyfriend.
Been living together.
But this ain't no normal boyfriend either. He's a streamer too.
He's a streamer that doesn't really stream as much, and he's not as serious about it, according to her. Yeah, and she wants him to take it more seriously, but she said that he just be sitting around for real. But at Streamer University, they had a party. And she was throwing ass, and she was getting her butt slapped by a myriad of men. And I guess he saw that. Of course he saw that, because niggas was probably tagging him in it. And they broke up.
My boy was going through it, man.
They broke up. You use this platform, sir, and you get back into streaming and you get your numbers right and move on. Because you was never going to keep that girl anyway.
That's crazy.
You what?
All right, so here's a clip of her talking about it.
Because I did have, I'm not gonna sit here and cap. Of course, I have feelings for him, but I feel like he really did the most about this situation, and the way he's trying to slander my name like I'm a whore. First of all, if I was one, that would be embarrassing for you. Like, why would you stay with a whore? Why would you cry for a whore when she says she wants you to go get established and that she doesn't want to be in a relationship? Why would you literally cry? Okay? Like, y'all, I never seen a man cry like that. And I'm not, man can cry. But it just got to the point where it's like, dang, like, every time I tell you anything like that, like, you should take, like, that should be a good thing. I just want you to be established. That's all I want. Gambling is not, well, I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm not going to speak on his.
So, essentially, it feels like they're not boyfriend, girlfriend to what the story she's trying to say. That's what it feels like she's lying. Like, because if that's not your boyfriend and you talking about you want him to get somewhere before that's your boyfriend, then it shouldn't have mattered what you was doing or anything like that. But clearly she was claiming this nigga.
Yeah, I believe they were living together.
Hold on, I got his clip right here.
Y'all was still trying to fuck with all these other hoes. Y'all know, you feel me, who I was with type shit. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know I stopped streaming, nigga. I damn near stopped streaming before her, but nigga, I stopped streaming. You feel me? I've been bullshitting. A nigga fell in love for the first time. No cap. Nigga, I never fell in love with nobody before. This is my first time ever in love. You know, shit happens.
Oh, he hurt. That cough was
that's
pain.
the longest I ever talked to a girl in my life. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Longest I probably talked to a girl was probably like a few weeks. Like, no cap. And that's the only girl I ever cared for. Like, I never cared about none of these bitches. I just, you know, just having my way with these hoes.
So was she popular when you first met her?
She had like 50, 60K on Instagram.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But that's light for girls.
Damn, I missed some shit. Nah, I'm just not getting started right now. Not even any nah. You, bro, I was not in love with that game. Come on, when I was like.
So this is what I just kind of, this is kind of what I just have to go after this, man. What y'all young boys have to understand is these girls now, y'all age girls, and probably gonna be for the foreseeable future, they don't know how to respect a man at all in this capacity in any way. When given the opportunity, this be dead ass. When given the opportunity, she is going to do what is in her best interest, at any time. Like, these girls are not going to hold back to make you feel better, and you got to kind of know that because she's being around guys that's way more popular than you, and she wants that. It's not like she's somebody who is just being, you know, she ain't one of the girls getting tootsie from Stephon Diggs, who just so happened to be in the camera. No, she's trying to be famous. She got a brand.
Yeah, and it's bigger than yours.
And it's something she clearly cares about. If that's what she, in her discussions with you, she's saying that's a stipulation for y'all to continue to grow. Mm-hmm. Is that you have to get your shit popping and all that.
And that's fair. And she's very young.
I mean, that's very true.
She's not just going hunker down with your bum ass.
But my thing is, that's the thing. The hunker bumper that she was doing it. If what you're saying is true.
Yeah. If so they you were can't living
say
together.
So she was already making that steps and commitment, and now when the opportunity came to take advantage, she did. So that's what I'm saying. She's not probably the girl you want to be with. So that's probably really, I know it hurts and it's embarrassing because the world feel like it's seeing this, but niggas really don't know who you are. And you'll be able to bounce back from this and almost feel unscathed. Like, women don't get that kind of luxury. When it happens the other way around, everybody knows what they look like. Like, everybody still remember that one girl who had the crazy little hair wrap. Remember she had that, it's the meme where she was sitting down, like, when I'm on a date with a ugly girl and it pans over to the dark skinned girl, she got her hair wrapped up looking crazy.
Caitlin Nicole?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. People know what she look like. No matter what them L's that women take, they gonna remember what y'all look like. As a nigga, you can bounce back from this. But last thing I wanted to ask, like, what did you see from just this whole streaming? Who did you think it benefited the most? Was it like the male creators or the female creators?
Who it benefited the most was probably Tota from Brazil. Did you see him?
I feel like he's the only guy that wasn't well known that it actually worked out for.
Yeah, it worked out really well for him. Also, I think her name is Kai Uwu. Mm-hmm. She's the black girl who's like very nerdy. And then the Emily girl, the Asian girl that Agent was with a lot, they were very cute.
I think she was already pretty popular.
Was she? I don't know. I didn't know any of these people before, so now I know them. So I feel like it was very successful for them, like those smaller streamers. Of course, Reggie did an amazing job. We are big fans of Reggie. He's hilarious. And then that preacher guy did a good job too, actually. Like he got a good amount of traction. Yeah, and that was and the news reporter girl.
Yeah, I thought she was really good.
She was great. Like she did a good job. And that's the girl I think that Drake followed on Instagram.
But she's not young. From what I
or was
gathering.
it might have been another girl then. Yeah.
Well, because the reason I was thinking about it, because I was seeing a lot of the girls being popping up, not even just the ones that I was familiar with. I've seen new girls, like literally they had like a stitch of all the baddies that got enrolled into Streamers University. So what I was noticing, like it was really like a macrocosm of what entertainment really is. It's like if you're a dude who got the cachet for whatever look or whatever you did, you're able to shine in those kind of environments. But if you're a guy who's coming in with no clout, you're not going to really hear you unless you got something like Torta, you the Brazilian Ray.
Yeah, but his roommate was Ray,
Yeah,
so he was gonna get attention regardless.
And that's what I mean, where he was able to, he got fortunate with that.
Yeah.
And that to put in that situation. So like if you think
but
about
he was
it,
he was really popular on his own in Brazil.
Oh, for
too,
sure.
So
But I mean, what I'm saying is like to kind of,
it was a good combination of things for him.
and what I'm saying is like that is like the macrocosm of American entertainment, where if you don't have it, especially as a guy, it's going to be hard for you to break through. But the women, if you're attractive, people are going to look at you. The guys that have clout are going to want to be around you, and then that's going to push up your algorithm. Because I seen a lot of folks who was talking about how they shit jumped like 200% in regards to like followers, subscribers, watch time, view time, all that. Like everybody's Twitch was doing numbers from it, but it's just interesting seeing how these kind of like environments better suit women in there, in the short run. But maybe sometime in the long term, it might be better for a lot of those guys because they got to build relationships and opportunities and get that equity in the community.
Yeah.
It's going to be dope to see.
Yeah, I just love this whole like streaming era. I love that all these people are making money independently. They getting brand deals. I love that like the internet is just letting people make businesses out of themselves. And people just get to like walk around with a backpack, a dude with a backpack, a techie ass backpack, and walk around and just live life while other kids watch them. I think the kids watching them are a little problematic. I'm not even gonna talk about that part though. But the people who are making money from just like living life, love that for y'all.
Well, we can wrap this over here, but Gil Arenas actually spoke about that, and he kind of actually woke it up on a lot of the guys who were doing kind of the Kai Cenat thing. It isn't that they're getting a lot of money. They get a lot of upfront money from these companies that they operate with. Because like Kai, he has his own, well, not his own, but he's part of, an agency. And that's what really gets a lot of these people lit, especially a lot of these guys that we're figuring out that Plaque Boy Max is, DDG. They get involved with these agencies early on. These agencies push them, and then they're able to turn that into something else. But a lot of times, too, they'll get a large sum. Like, so AMP could be working with a group of team who's like, hey, we'll collect all the money from you guys, but we'll give you this amount of money up front. And then we may potentially fund your projects and stuff like that. But we're going to get all the revenue, the money, the back channel numbers and all that. And you just be in the face of it. It's just, it's the new entertainment. That's all it is. We're just doing it on the internet. These guys are probably, we're going to see in a couple of years, we're like, the streamers were getting screwed. And then they're going to probably like repurpose Aiden Ross into like, he was above everybody. He knew what was going on. That's why he went to kick and all this other. Watch. It's going to be a crazy narrative in the next few years. It's going to come out because the bubble's going to burst on it. It's just going to be interesting to see where everybody lands.